Welcome to the Kickass Couples Podcast. This is the place where we help committed couples who want to level up their marriage experience newfound clarity, hope, and confidence. We're Matthew and Kim, co-hosts and husband and wife.
In 26 years together, we've seen a lot and never thought it could be as good as it is right now. We're here to help you successfully navigate the messy, dirty, and wonderful world of marriage.
We believe all couples deserve and are capable of experiencing an extraordinary and fulfilling marriage. And each week, we're bringing you life lessons from real-life successful couples to help you grow and strengthen your relationship.
We'll get started right after this message.
If you want to learn how to experience the best, most fulfilling year of your marriage, we invite you to order Matthew's new book, Kickass Husband, Winning at Life, Marriage, and Sex. You can get it at Amazon.com or visit Matthew's website, www.matthewphoffman.com. Again, that's Amazon.com or www.matthewphoffman.com. And now, back to the show.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Kickass Couples Podcast. I'm Kim, and this is my husband, Matthew, and we're here to invite you to participate in the greatest gift challenge ever. So what is it? We're challenging couples to take the time to give of themselves and to invest in their relationship. How do you do this? It's simple. All you have to do is write down 10 things on a piece of paper that you love and appreciate most about your spouse, and you present it to them as a gift. Tell us what a gift is, Matthew.
Wow, Kim, a gift can be anything. It can be communication, an act of service, words of affirmation, investment. It could be intimacy. Really, a gift to your spouse is anything that you freely give them with no expectation of getting anything back in return. And that's important because when we do those things in our relationship, we're really learning how to look through the lens of prioritization. And our entire platform at the Kickass Couples Podcast and Kickass Couples Nation is about learning how to put your spouse, your partner, in that number one position and make sure that you're investing in them so you can have the kind of relationships that'll last forever.
Guys, I promise you, if you take the time to invest and give this gift, it will be a gift that will last a lifetime.
You know, Kim, I think why this is such a cool gift and a great idea is in our platform, we have 14 pillars, right? Things we talk about when we interview people and what we think are the key parts of any successful relationship. This simple act, the greatest gift challenges, hits on 11 of our 14 pillars.
It does. And I think that what makes this so special is that these are the foundations of a really successful relationship.
I know. And if someone came to you and said, I'm going to give you a tool that's going to allow you to do 80% of what you have to do to have a kick-ass relationship, wouldn't you want to do it?
Absolutely.
I know I did. And so really, I mean, the number one of our 3 C's is commitment. And we always talk about commitment as being the cornerstone of a relationship. And how does this hit on commitment, you might say? And really, what I want to ask everybody out there is, what are you willing to do for your spouse, right? I mean, this doesn't cost a lot of money. Doesn't take a lot of time. It may be more difficult for some of you because it's emotion. You're having to think about what you want to write down. But this hits that pillar of commitment because you're taking action. Commitment is an action. It's not just a word. And you're doing something to show your spouse how much you care for and how you're committed because you're saying what you love about them and what you see in your relationship.
I agree. It says to me that you were emotionally impelled to write something and put it in writing and give it to me.
Yeah.
And that to me speaks volumes on commitment.
And what's so funny is what you just said, Kim, you talked about speaking it and saying it. We talk about the second pillar of the 3 C's, which is communication. And when we talk about communication, communication is not having a great thought about somebody. It's not, oh, she looks so lovely today. I love when she's so kind to me. Oh, she's incredible with our kids. I love what she's doing. Having a thought and not saying it is like having money and never spending it. Doesn't do you any good, right? So communication, you have to recognize the good and you have to speak it. And communication, certainly, Kim, right? It's the written word we know, and it's the spoken word, but the written word has the power to really transform. Because when somebody reads something that you said or that you authored, you may not be there. So they're hearing you in their head, they're taking it all in, and they're feeling your thoughts when they read those words, and they have them to come back to. It's not something that goes away.
Absolutely. That is the best part, is that I can pull this out at a later time and I can look at it and I can read it, and it's just going to make my heart smile every time.
Yeah. You never want to wonder if your spouse knows how you feel about them or what you're thinking. Putting in the written word, it takes away all doubt and all guess, because it tells them in a way they can come back to again, again, and again about the truth of your relationship.
I also think it hits on trust and honesty. And that's a big one, because when you do this for someone, it makes them feel not only loved, but safe and secure in their relationship.
Yeah, you don't want your spouse, your partner in life, guessing how you feel about them, wondering if you're content, wondering if you're fulfilled, wondering if you still see those qualities that attracted you to them in the first place. And when you hear those words of affirmation, those things coming out, it really increases the level of trust, and it's an honest communication that you can have between you and your spouse.
And my favorite one of all is the intimacy, because you just hit my love button. I mean, you just totally set those endorphins off, and I am just soaring high. I've got my head up, I've got my shoulders back, and I'm feeling so good about myself because of all the things that you just affirmed about me.
Intimacy is great. I agree too, Kim, because it really talks about the things that bind you together, the things that bring you closer. You've got love mapping going on. You're inviting somebody into your inner world. And when somebody feels understood, that level of intimacy goes through the roof. And when you get something from your spouse and it's them telling you all the things they love about you, that means they get you, they understand you, and it's a great way to kick up the intimacy in a relationship.
And then it takes us right to the very next one, which is lasting love. And it just tells me that you're going to love me and be by my side, and you're going to be there for me, and you've got my back forever.
Yeah, it's kind of, when you talk about lasting love, think of an inventory list, right? If you write 10 things down about what you love and appreciate about your spouse, you're giving them an inventory of things you love about them. And that's an inventory that will never go away, because A, they're words on a page. They can come back and revisit it maybe when they're upset or angry at you about something. And they go, oh my gosh, I can't believe he or she did this, right? But when you go back to those words on the page, you go, oh yeah, no, this is their heart. This is how they
still
feel
love
about
me.
They still love me.
Care about
they still
me.
want to be with you and close
right.
to you, right? So I love, lasting love is right. Words are easy. They're disposable. They go away. But actions and things that are in the written word, it's kind of like a contract. You're putting it out there. It's in the ethos, and it's a way to let your spouse know, this is where I am and this is how I love you.
Absolutely. And I also think it's such another pillar, which is a selfless act, right? You are taking the time to commit to doing this for your spouse. And it tells me you just prioritized me. You made me feel like I'm a priority in your life and that I'm important.
Yeah, it is. It is selfless, because it means that you're taking one of your priorities off the table and you're putting them in first place in line and taking the time. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. This is not an exercise that we're talking about that's going to be hours of your time, but it's really being willing to put them on the center stage and do something that is all about them. and from you and not about you. And, that kind of leads into the next pillar we want to talk about, which is unity. How do you think, Kim, that doing something like this would have anything to do with the unity of somebody in their relationship?
I feel like it makes us feel like we're bound together even tighter when I get this and it's unexpected and someone is telling me 10 things and affirming me in 10 ways. It just makes me feel like we are a team and that we are just a part of each other.
Yeah, I think when we interviewed a couple of the Vadens not too long ago, and that interview came out, and he kind of talked about this triangle. He said, if you imagine you and your spouse and God are on this triangle, and you are both pursuing God, you're each on your own track doing your own thing, but you're headed in the same direction and the same goal.
The trajectory is
it brings you together, and if
upward and together.
And if spouses are thinking about and focusing on the other one and magnifying that good, they're doing it in their own way, but they're on parallel tracks, and those tracks lead you closer together as you do stuff for the other one.
Sure.
When it comes to creating a kick-ass marriage, do you ever wonder what you could be doing better? Have you ever thought how helpful it would be to be a part of a like-minded community of other imperfect couples who want to level up in their number one relationship? Come visit Kickass Couples Nation, where you can talk with people just like you who are looking for ways to invest in and increase their joy, commitment, and fulfillment in their most important human relationship. You'll have access to a team of licensed marriage therapists, coaches, articles, podcasts, live webinars, and more. Just visit MatthewPHoffman.com so you can learn more about a community that's ready to help you level up. That's MatthewPHoffman.com so you can become of the growing Kick-Ass Couples Nation right now.
And then I think we hit one pillar that everyone always comments about when we interview couples, and that is appreciation. Everyone desires to feel appreciated, to feel cared for, to feel loved. And I think that's such a big pillar.
Yeah.
An important pillar.
In my keynote speech, when we talk about appreciation, I have never heard somebody say, I'm appreciated too much for what I do, who I am, or what I bring to the relationship. Everybody loves to hear the good things that they do and be recognized for what they're doing, especially in a relationship. And Kim, one other pillar it covers too is servant leadership. And you and I had a little discussion about this, about, well, wait a minute, we're talking about being selfless and servant leadership. And I kind of backed up and I said, I really think it covers servant leadership because I see that in being a leader in servitude. And that means that your focus, your motive is to say, I'm going to lead by showing how I can serve. So when you write down the 10 things you love and appreciate about your spouse, you're modeling the behavior that successful people do when they're committed to their spouse, to their number one. And whether your spouse does this or not, and you do, it doesn't matter, because to be a good servant leader means you're setting the role model, you're taking the lead, and you're doing the actions that need to be present in a relationship for it to be strong and successful.
And what I love about that is it's not just in our relationship, but that spills over into our children and families and our friendships and into our community as well.
No doubt, no doubt. And I think also we talk a little bit about security, right? And how does it feel when you know the person that you spend every waking moment with, you go to bed with them every night, you're around them a lot, maybe you're working and pulled away during the day, but how secure do you feel when the person that you spend all that time with, that you said I do to, and you've been around, for us, it's been almost 28 years we've been together. I feel so secure when you tell me what I mean to you, because I know you still look at me with those same eyes in the same way that you did the first time we started dating and when our relationship began.
Sure. And for a woman, that is such a safe space to be in. I don't wonder when we're apart from each other or we're tending functions that might be separate from each other. I don't wonder about where your eyes may be going or who you may be speaking to, because you've affirmed to me in writing 10 things that you love most about me. And I don't even think that you're going to venture from there.
Right, right. And this doesn't have to be a heavy, syrupy, intense thing either, guys. You can also, one of our pillars, our last pillar, number 14, is fun and humor. Have fun with this. Be light. Say what the most awkward or funniest thing is about them, right? Pick those things that maybe only you know and recognize, and make sure you're having fun and a little bit of humor as you go through this process. And I mean, Kim, we've kind of talked about the pillars a little bit and why this hits on so many things that we speak about in all of our interviews and what we do. Do you remember when I did this for you, like what the circumstances were and what was going on?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Can we talk a little bit about the example of, so what was happening when you got the list of 10 things from me that
Absolutely.
I appreciate?
So I actually was just so grateful to be the recipient of this gift. And when I tell you it is a gift of a lifetime, it's so amazing for your spouse or your partner to hand to you a written 10 different things that they love most about you. And it was a weekend where Matthew was away and we were doing a lot of heavy work in the yard, and he was with his buddies and at a reunion for camp, and I'm working and I see this little ding on my phone, and I see this little highlighted 10 things I love and appreciate most about you. And I looked at it and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't read this right now. I'm in the middle of all this chaos in our yard, but I know this is gonna be so meaningful and it's gonna be so special to me. I'm gonna set it aside and I'm gonna read it later when I'm in a quiet space. And when I did later that evening, I was blown away by your words, and I was really genuinely touched about how tender and meaningful it was to me.
Well, and it was fun to do. I felt a little guilty. I'm at a camp reunion, 100 years of this camp I went to, summer camp with all these guys having fun. And here my wife and my young son and even extended family are there, and they're cutting down trees and they're working their butts off, sore and tired. And I'm off playing. And I just said, gosh, I got to let her know how I feel about her and make sure she's not getting lost in this work weekend. And that's what brought it on. And so it was easy. It was fun for me. And I really want to challenge all of you to take the time, write it in your own words. And guys, we've made it easy for you.
Absolutely. Look, there's a list. This is the one he did for me. All filled in.
That's the list I did for her. If you guys go to the homepage on MatthewPHoffman.com, take the Greatest Gift Challenge, click on that. We have a nice PDF for you that says, these are the things I love and appreciate about you most. You're going to print it out. You can write on it in your own handwriting. You can even put it in a little frame if you want to, so they can hang it on the wall. But take the time, leave it for them somewhere so they can find your words in a quiet moment and be reminded of what the 10 things are that they love and appreciate about, your spouse most. And it's so powerful. It's a gift. We call it the greatest gift because they'll have it forever. Those words don't go away. They're there. And, truth is truth no matter when you see it or read it or feel it. So we hope you'll take the challenge. And we've even got a special offer for you guys. For the first 10 people that do this and then do a quick video of themselves describing how it went and what happened, if you send us that video at MatthewPHoffman.com or info@kickasscouplespodcast.com, if we get a video and you're describing to us how it went and what you did, we're going to send you a new book that we're coming out with. It's called Love Notes for Kickass Husbands and Wives. It's a book of 15 custom postcards that you can write those love notes to your spouse and the people you love on. And that's for the first 10 people that take the Greatest Gift Challenge. So all you've got to do again is go to MatthewPHoffman.com, step out of your comfort zone, lean into that number 1, and give them a gift that lasts a lifetime in your own words. And we promise you, what, Kim? What are they going to get if they do this?
Oh my gosh, they're going to get it back tenfold. It will be the gift of a lifetime.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us today, the special episode of the Kickass Couples podcast for the Greatest Gift Challenge. We hope you remember that happily ever after does not just happen.
That's all we've got for this episode of the Kickass Couples podcast. If you like the content of this show, you'll love Matthew's newly released book, Kickass Husband, Winning at Life, Marriage, and Sex. To receive a digital mini book of quotes and images from the book, All you have to do is rate this show and leave a review in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Then email us a screenshot of your review at podcast@kickasscouplespodcast.com, and we'll get it over to you right away. Until next time, remember, happily ever after doesn't just happen, it's on purpose.